Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Popcorn and Coffee and Movie Podcast, Table Talk. We're here to talk, break down Moon Knight again. Moon Knight episode 3. I'm your host, Jesse. With me, as always, Hazel. How are you?
What's up, everyone?
You ready to discuss another episode?
Yes, let's discuss.
The synopsis for this one says, with Mark in the forefront and Harrow ahead, Mark and Layla navigate Cairo for intel. And that is what it was.
What happened?
This one was directed by Mohammed Diab.
Yes.
And he didn't do episode 2. He did do episode 1.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to see some fingerprints. You know, you can start to see some directorial stuff there, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on this episode?
This was one I actually enjoyed watching.
Okay.
And it's not story that's pulling me in. It's not the characters. I think what I enjoyed about this episode was the action in it, the fight sequences that happen. We actually got to see the Moon Knight character in his garb and stuff a lot more, doing more in this episode, which I really enjoyed. A lot of the switchbacks and stuff that they had between Mark and Steven was very funny. I thought it was clever. And them kind of talking to each other, him working with his two personalities and able to kind of like, okay, you take over. No, you take over. Yeah. Was really cool. So definitely the best episode so far, out of 3. Again, still hard, but that story still is just not getting me.
Okay, so we're on episode 3 of 6. So we're officially like halfway, and it's really playing out like a movie. I think we're starting to see it. The most streaming shows, each episode is contained to itself, and it's got its own little rise and fall, rise and fall, rise and fall. This is really playing out like a movie would, as opposed to a series. So we're kind of getting a 3-hour Moon Knight movie, because it's really just feels like it's still rising. We're still establishing who the characters are, what the characters are doing, and some of the minor story details, which I think works. I would agree with you. I don't really care as much about what Harrow, Ethan Hawke's character, is doing, and the fact that he's trying to summon a god as well, and what's so bad about this god when we're seeing a bunch of other gods already in this episode. Like, there was a whole Egyptian courtroom scene with all the gods, and they're like, okay, well, what's so bad about the one that he's trying to summon as opposed to all of these other guys? And then you have all the Khonshu stuff, he's tweaking. Hello? Okay.
Khonshu?
Is that Khonshu? And he's doing lunar eclipses and messing with the stars and all that.
Yeah.
And he's getting thrown in prison for some reason, all of that stuff. It's back burner stuff. I would agree with you 100%. I think Oscar Isaac is really showing his chops in this show.
Yeah.
Especially that scene when he looks at the mirror, the car mirror, and he like summons Steven. And just to flip and become that other person so easily and so smoothly. It looked like it could have been, and maybe it was, I don't know. I want to say that it isn't, because I really trust Oscar Isaac. It looked like it was 2 different scenes mashed together and edited together.
Yeah.
How effortlessly it happened.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you it's just how good he is. You know what I mean? Which I think is awesome.
Yeah. It was the scene towards the end of it when they're the final battle, when Mark is fighting and Steven's like, let me take over, and he's like, fine, and he took over, and then he like gets a couple punch and he's like, okay, you take back over.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I really like how they've designated kind of the Mr. Knight suit. So just the 2-piece suit or whatever for Steven, and then for Mark it's the actual Moon Knight costume. But I'm enjoying it. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Like you said, the story is kind of just like meh. It's just whatever. And the subplot with his wife and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that it just flourishes into something really good by like episode 5.
Yeah.
But right now I'm not seeing much of that. I saw glimpses of it. I saw glimpses of it when it seems like when they were riding in the car and she's talking to him and she's like, I feel like I don't even know you. And he goes, you don't. You absolutely do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like, golly, he is such a tormented individual. And I really like how everyone else in the show is pretty much like, well, it's mostly her, but she's like, okay, summon Steve. Like, I need Steve. And she's just using him. And you can tell that he's so frustrated by like that he's in this situation. I just think it's played so subtly and so well that he hates that even when it would benefit him, that he has to switch and become a completely different person.
Yeah.
You could see him tormented over that.
Yeah. Yeah. I really enjoyed the scene where they had the meeting with all the gods. And it was really cool how like each one's like, oh, whose totem are you? Like each god had their own like human totem that they use to kind of go and speak on their behalf or use in whatever way they want. It was just interesting. And I really enjoyed the scene, like the setup, just the way the court, like their courtroom type thing was, and it was really cool.
And that's another thing too that's really interesting, especially if you look at it from the perspective of like the MCU and what we've gotten so far. We've never seen anything like this in this.
No.
So it's really interesting to be like, okay, well, this is a piece of it. This exists within the larger MCU story plot, all of that. And that is really cool to me because eventually you're going to get Moon Knight in a scene with someone else, and then Kanju is going to be making commentary about Captain Winter, or Captain America Falcon, and it's just going to be like, that's the stuff that I really want to see. Or it's going to be Spider-Man. Kanju is going to be making comments about a little boy in tights, and it's going to be Spider-Man. They're all New York City related,
and that's going to be funny. That will work out. I think that's going to work out really well when they do that. And I'm curious as to what this power is that they're setting up in this. That's going to be interesting to how they use that in the greater MC universe for their next phase of movies and stuff. Because we will see Moon Knight in some movies. I don't know which ones yet, but
you know what's interesting though, and I did hear, not to cut you off, but Oscar Isaac is the first actor who has signed a contract that doesn't go beyond what he's currently working on.
Really? Okay.
He didn't sign a 10-movie deal. He signed on to do 1 season of Moon Knight, and that's it.
Wow. Okay.
Now, that doesn't mean he's not going to. He's absolutely going to continue to play this character. Why would you not? It's such an intriguing role for you to be able to play.
Yeah.
Why would you not play that in a movie or in another series or whatever? But that's just a fun fact that I did hear this week. That was just like, wow, that's interesting, because Marvel doesn't normally operate that way.
It's going to be so cool to see him interact with other MCU characters, like with Strange, like especially with the dual personality, just him flipping back and forth.
Yes,
it's going to be so much fun. I am excited for that. And like I said, I think we said last week, with as far as the series as a whole, I still do believe 100% it would have been better as a movie.
This series?
Yeah, this series, the Moon Knight.
Yeah.
And when this is done, I am going to go back and rewatch it. Mariah hasn't been watching them with me, but I want to go back and rewatch them with her. What's that?
And binge them.
And binge them as a whole, like you would a movie, and see how it plays out differently, and if maybe I enjoy it a little more.
That's a good point.
But yeah, we'll see. And it's gonna be interesting.
Can we just rate one thing so far? Because it comes up almost every episode, and every episode's like, I'm just like, dang, Oscar Isaac's hair.
Oh man, he's got fantastic hair.
Just fabulous locks.
On
top of that boy's head.
Yeah, that curl.
It's a perfect curl. It's just the perfect everything. I would be so sad if he's like, it's not even real. That's not my real hair. But I think it is, because that's his hair and everything,
Yeah, but he doesn't change it much.
No, it's Poe Dameron, and it's all of his stuff. The same. That's just funny. I'm like, gosh, I love that hair.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Do you hear that?
Kanju? No, I don't hear
Kanju.
you.
You need to have some, like one of the kids or something one time just stick their hand across like the screen to come in like this and be like, cigarette.
I really like too how when he was fighting, like you could tell the times when he's trying not to kill everyone.
Yeah.
And so he's using that like moon batarang thing to just kind of knock guns out of people's hands. And then once they start to overwhelm him because he's really like he's fighting at a 2, you know what I mean? Then he's like, I'm done with this. And he just like mows so many people down in seconds. But you know who does not care about killing is Layla. She was just murking literally everyone.
I know. And I like that character. Who is that actress again?
I'm not sure.
Because I really do. And that's the thing.
May Calame is her name.
Yeah, I really like her character in this.
And she's actually Egyptian Palestinian in real life. Yeah.
I would have guessed.
Good on her.
That would have been my guess. But
yeah, she got the accent.
Yeah. No, I really, really like her character. And she's a really good actress.
She really is, yeah.
She's
only really done a bunch of TV stuff.
I mean, I've not seen her in anything other than this, but I mean, from the 2 episodes that she's been in, the last 2 episodes, I'm just like, wow, like.
Yeah, she seems like she's going to play a pretty predominant role for the rest of the series. So
yeah,
she was really hitting it off with Mark and Steven. Not Mark, just Steven.
Well, that's because Steven's a nice guy.
Very much so.
We know. Nice guys finish last.
Every time I watch him, though, all I think about is like James McAvoy in Split and in Glass, because that dual personality stuff where you just effortlessly just flip between people like that is incredible. And to do it so just realistic and believable is something.
Yeah.
But anything else to say about this?
I mean, Ethan Hawke's character, I would like to see a little more from him. I feel like for the first episode we got a lot, and then the last 2 is kind of like he's kind of tapered off. He's not in it as much. He kind of shows up randomly and is like, I'm the bad guy.
I know. And then the only thing that was really noticeable in this episode was that there was a lot of silent scenes where it's just him walking, and all you hear is the glass in his shoes like crumbling as he's walking. Oh my golly, he's not even wincing.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm wondering right now, casting Ethan Hawke wasn't a disservice to the character, because when I'm looking at him, I'm like, that's Ethan Hawke. I don't care about that character at all. I wonder if just casting somebody lesser known wouldn't have benefited them. He's really creepy, but not in like a menacing MCU villain way, you know?
Yeah. He's just like,
he's just a weirdo who's
psycho.
Just a creeper who like should probably cut his hair, but he doesn't.
And maybe take the glass out of his sandals.
Definitely take the glass out of his sandals.
Because only a psychopath would do that.
No doubt. It reminds me of like Paul Bettany in the Da Vinci Code.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yes. Right. You got it. You got it.
That's those like religious zealots who would go so far, but yeah. No. Anything else to say about this one?
Nope. I think that's all I got.
I think we covered quite a bit of it.
Yeah, we did.
So why don't you tell them where they can listen?
Yeah, if you like what you hear, this right here, you can head obviously on YouTube and take a listen, leave a comment in the comment section, and let us know what you thought. If you want to listen to other Popcorn and Coffee memorabilia, head over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a comment and review there. And you can also check us out on Google and Spotify. Social media, Instagram, that's our big social media right now. So please head over to Popcorn and Coffee, or at Popcorn and Coffee on Instagram, and DM us and shoot us some requests. You want us to do a series? Maybe you like The Office and you want us to review The Office. We will do it, but you got to request it.
Definitely.
And it'll take us a couple months to, watch everything. Maybe we'll do it season by season. I don't know. So. Yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys, and tune back in next week to hear us talk about episode 4.
Bye.
Bye.